Hello, dear Libras. This is Lada from astrolada.com here with your August 2021 video horoscopes for anyone who has their sun, moon, or rising in the sign of Libra. And this month is going to be much nicer for everyone, especially supportive for Libras from the second part of August. So, good news in midst of turbulent year. It's good to have such an island of respite. And before I start, just want to make a quick announcement that we're releasing the last course ever recorded by Nikola Stojanovic, 6 hours of him teaching his predictive method on solar return charts, how to see the future. This was the only method he used for prediction. It's unique, it's his own, developed. And this is a method which he used to predict world events, the horoscopes of presidents, ministers, and it's a reduced price for $150 for the first 2 weeks. And the proceeds, Nicola's proceeds, will go to his family. May he rest in peace. Unique material you will never find anywhere. So let's continue with Libra. Libra, the big news is that Jupiter is moving back into your fifth house. It was away for a little bit, but now it's coming back into your fifth house because for 2-3 months you had only Saturn in the fifth house. And Saturn is a bit of a wet blanket in the fifth house of fun. So maybe you felt in the last 2-3 months, life became a lot about responsibilities, more, not so much joy, not so much ability to have fun, or maybe because of duties and responsibilities, or because of a dry spell period, let's say, even romantically, or maybe some difficulties even, and a kind of a slowdown situation, or constipated situation with romantic matters, with having fun, even with children. But Jupiter is coming back and it will be retrograde in your fifth house for the next 2.5 months, the whole August till the middle of October, actually till the end of the year, it will be in your fifth house. So it means that those matters concerning your fifth house, maybe dry spell in your love life, maybe too many responsibilities, not ability to have fun, my makeup, are going to get, let's say, enlivened a little bit. Jupiter acts like the spring energy, the energy of, it gives life, basically. It improves, it warms up and moistens the situation. So it can warm up and moisten your love life. It can warm up and moisten your romantic relationship. You can warm up and bring and bring easier circumstances in your relationships with children to make it a bit more fun, not just responsibilities and duties. So if you're trying to get pregnant, it can also allow you to make you more fruitful. Fifth house is the house of pregnancy. Because only Saturn there, it can kind of, Saturn is a barren planet there, while Jupiter is a very fertile planet, so it can balance out the coldness and dryness of Saturn in your love life, in your ability to have children, your relationship to children. Your confidence can improve because Saturn in the fifth house makes a hard hit on one's self-expression and confidence. One can feel a little bit restrained, a little bit not confident enough. They can get like really kind of a down on their self-expression and on their self-esteem, as this is the house of that. While Jupiter will allow you to feel more expressive again, more to feel more inspired, because it's a house of inspiration and creativity, more visionary, more original, rather than like when Saturn is in the fifth house, usually one, because it's one of the houses of self-image as well. It's one of the self houses, and Saturn makes you feel like a dried fig a little bit, uninteresting, older, or just too responsible. And Jupiter returning back there makes you feel more at ease with who you are, more relaxed in your own skin, more enjoying life, because it enhances the ability to enjoy life, to have fun. And I'm so excited that my husband is Libra rising. That's exactly when we're leaving to my country, to Bulgaria. It's a party place there. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of friends. So finally, we've had like a very dry and restricted fun life recently. He's been having Saturn in his fifth house and all the Libras for the last almost a year. So it has not been the best. With periods when Jupiter was also there. But now it's not going to fully improve it. Saturn is the predominant planet there, but you'll see improvement there. Let's say you'll be able to have fun responsibly without going all out. You'll be able to improve your romantic relationships and so on, and relationships with children and your self-expression. Good time, I would say, if you're planning holidays, now can be good time. And not only that, but Jupiter returning, being retrograde for 2.5 months in your fifth house, and Saturn is retrograde till October, means that you can meet someone from the past, someone, or restart a romantic relationship, or have Jupiter brings clarity about maybe someone broke your heart. Maybe you never processed it. Might have been years ago. And now you might even be able to reconnect with this person, see them from a different perspective, because a retrograde planet gives you a very unique, different, deeper interpretation of something. And that can help liberate you or release you from certain trauma connected to heartbreak, because the fifth house rules the heart, being loved and loving, being lovable and loving. Even if it's not romantically, anyone that hurt your self-confidence. So you might have an opportunity to try and understand deeper such topics, even if you don't reconnect with a romantic partner. And you can even restart an old relationship romantically, or if there was a disruption there, restart it, improve it. But if it's not that, it's more like to help you, give you high understanding, which is Jupiter, and like that it allows for closure and healing. Plus you can revisit places, because retrograde means to revisit places of fun that you used to love before. Maybe there was a holiday place you used to love and you haven't been to for a while, and now you can go revisit it. Or maybe you can put into action some plans that you had about having fun, about some fun activities that you haven't been able to do or you've forgotten about, that you can now implement August, September, while Jupiter is retrograde in your fifth house. Or it can mean restarting an old creative project. Maybe you haven't taken, maybe something that you had as a creative idea, as an original idea. It doesn't necessarily needs to be painting, art, or the more performance and drama, but it can be that if you're an artistic person. Definitely can mean like an old project, a project you thought about. You can restart it, redo it, make it better, actually benefit from it more. Or if you've been working on some creative project, now Jupiter going retrograde in your fifth house, it will move your creative juices flowing again, so you can complete it or make it, change it and make it even better and complete it in some way. And you might be able to see the results when Jupiter starts moving direct. But on another level, it can mean that anything that you consider fun, or original ideas of yours, you might have had a great idea for business or something else, to invent something, to create something new that just came to you. It might have been years ago, it might have been months ago, and now Jupiter retrogrades in your fifth house. And this happens only once in 12 years, Jupiter retrogrades there. And it allows you, together with Saturn retrograde there, to actually to come back to that original idea, implement it, put details on it, work on it, so it's going to be good for such matters. So yeah, restarting creative projects and so on. And as I was talking about holidaying, that it will be good while Jupiter is in your fifth house, there is another confirmation about holidays being for you good, because for a big part, there's a lot of planets that are going to be activating in your 12th house. And 12th house is the house of retreat, to live, to live the humdrum and everyday life, to rest, to sleep, to relax, to go to a hotel, to go to a spa, to go to a faraway place. 12th house rules faraway places that are unfamiliar, that feel like a different world from the world you live in. Usually holiday places for us, unless you travel astrally and you can beam yourself up to Arcturus. If you do that, you'll be doing a lot of that, with your otherworldly friends. But usually for us normal mortals, that means triggering for an opportunity to be abroad or to go on a holiday, to rest, to relax. Actually, it's not going to be so restful because Mars is in your 12th house. If you go on holiday, it's going to be more like an active holiday. You're kind of like jet skiing there or whatever, or exploring a bit more. But there is a powerful trigger the whole August, and then the sun moves into your 12th house in Mercury. But there's powerful triggers to experience distant places, faraway places, even to relocate to faraway countries if you want. And that's exactly what's happening for my husband again. It's crazy how powerful this is, how correct those astrologers are. And especially the last part of August until the middle, sorry, the last part of July until the middle of August, Venus is in your 12th house. And Venus will make any foreign trips or documents for foreign places or any transactions with faraway places, foreigners, or travels or holidays or going to hotels or air travel or anything that is connected to go far away or to go to a retreat makes it very pleasurable, and it goes smoothly because Venus is there helping. After the middle of August, Venus moves into your first house. Only Mars stays there and Mercury joins. It can again be active for such matters, but it might be a little bit more disruptive, especially around the 19th of August, because 18th, 19th, 20th, Mars and Mercury can join together in your 12th house. So be careful about foreign places, or something might happen, or faraway trips or hotels and retreats and so on. It's just to be a bit more cautious, but it's very active as well. Plus the 12th house, so and the sun enters your 12th house at the end of August. So kind of, I would advise you, if you can't travel, do some active meditation, because Mars is active. The 12th house is spiritual activities and ability to disconnect yourself from the world. So do it like go walk by the sea, swim, or Mercury is walking, Mars is something active. Just relax, try to relax and do some exercise, active meditation. And you might even feel a little bit tired. Let's be honest, Mars is in your 12th house and can make you have kind of quite vivid and sometimes angry dreams, especially the second part of August. And it might be a bit hard to fall asleep because it's hard to calm your subconscious mind when Mars is there. A lot happening in your subconscious. You might be thinking about the past a lot, themes from the past that get triggered, but so it's I would advise, when the sun enters there, just allow yourself to have some active retreat. And another way you can utilize it, 12th house, is research to prepare for something, because the new cycle starts for you when the planets move into your sign, Libra, activating you to initiate something physically, to feel reborn, to start something new. Now is not yet the time to do that in August. August is the time to actually the first part especially, you'll be quite social. There's Sun and Mercury in your 11th house, so the first 15, 20 days of August, you might feel quite exhilarated socially, make a lot of new social contacts. There is a new moon in your 11th house, so renewing your friendship, social activity. You can feel more, socially excited as well. There is an opposition at the start of August, I forgot to say, between Sun, Mercury, and Saturn. The first 2-3 days of August can feel a bit awkward, can feel a bit tense. Maybe there might be some disruptions with friends, or in your social environment, or having to balance between pleasure and social responsibility of some sort. But it's just 2-3 days, so don't worry. After that, till the 23rd, 4th, till the 22nd, sorry, of August, the sun is in your 11th house, really shining a bright light on the social area, socially active, and then it starts moving into your 12th house. So I believe that after that, you feel a little bit more like resting, taking it easy. And especially since the 15th of August, Venus enters your sign, so you'll be very protected till the end of August, the last 15 days of August, the first 10 days of September, and a lot of very pleasurable activities you can experience. It's a bit more active till then. And from the 20th of August, it becomes calmer. It becomes more, there's a lot of activity that's happening in your imagination, the 12th house, or maybe in some retreat, just sit on the beach, go run by the beach or whatever, if you can do that. While Venus will make sure that your physical body is protected if it's your ascendant in Libra, that you find yourself more attractive, you start becoming more attractive, paying more attention to your beauty regimes, to others might find you more attractive as well. You can attract more pleasurable activities as well, massages, good clothes, good food, Venus rules, all of those things. You can pamper yourself more the second part of the month. You can find yourself attracting love even more easily, or appreciation from others. And so if you have to present yourself in a good light, um, do it when Venus enters your sign from the 16th of August, 15th, 16th onwards. Definitely that will be the part when you feel much. um, the second part of August, the first 10 days of September is for any indulgences, pleasures, enjoyments of the five senses, romantic things. With all those 12 planets in the 12th house, though, be aware that there might be some hidden things happening in August. Maybe you're keeping to yourself privately your thoughts, Mercury is there, or your certain desires initially, Mars and Venus there, certain activities as well. I mean, this can be for good or depends what demons you have there in your imagination, or even some kind of a private affairs more possible sometimes. If you're inclined to those things, the 12th house is the house of private affairs, and Venus, even to the end of the month, makes you very attractive anyway. Why do I always make such predictions for the horoscope of my husband? Because I'm having Pluto square my Venus. I'm jealous. All I see is such possibilities for no reason. It's crazy. Like Pluto transits to Venus are not fun. You got it. You got it. Sorry, just joking there. So there you go, guys. But you see, a lot of planets really supporting your self-expression. The first house, you're feeling agreeable, enjoyable. You can attract. You can compromise, but you're likable and even more attractive. And Venus even brings more money to you, when it's in the first house, and more romantic, pleasant experience, more lovingness. And your romantic house as well, the fifth house, is getting better with Jupiter entering there, having fun. Your self-expression, you just start feeling more in your own skin. You start feeling more protected by the planets this August, especially the second part when Venus enters your sign as well. So use it to the full. If you have any Venusian activities to do, art, beauty, beautification, buying beautiful clothes, or music, if you work with music, with luxuries, the second part of the month again will be great. Just one thing, there'll be more expenses for you with such heavy activation. A big part of August, most of August, actually, from the beginning to the end, there's planets in your 12th house, and Mars in particular. This is the house of expenses. So be prepared that you'll spend more. I mean, if you're having more fun, why not spend more? But there might be some unexpected expenses that are happening that you have to be prepared about for. Otherwise, a lot of other supportive influences. And another thing, I would advise you, while all those planets are in your 12th house, don't get involved in some behind the scene things you might regret. I'm talking even some illegal stuff, or uh, because it can, because people are more inclined to do that when planets are in the 12th house, hide something, whatever. Okay, if you do that till the middle of August, you'll be supported, you'll be protected, you won't be found out. But after that, more difficult planets remain in your 12th house. Venus leaves, so that can get a bit dodgy. And don't get involved in gossip and behind the scenes kind of dodgy things, like, because at the same time, if you do it, you can attract your own hidden enemies that do it behind your back. But again, if you do it till the middle of August, you're protected. Somehow after that, I can't guarantee you. So there you go, Libras. Thank you so much. If you want to learn astrology with us, check out all our courses we're offering, especially the great Nikola Stojanovic, the late Nikola Stojanovic, with the last course he ever did that I've never released. And fascinating method of predicting the future. And he was the best predictive astrologer I know. Thank you.